Alright guys, this is what I'm talking about. It's deep back there, ain't it? 4 feet. Alright guys, so guys, we got good hard soil. This is what you want. This is how you want your good and clean. This is what you want. That's why they got the guy with the shovel. This is what you want, guys, for your footings. So we're about 2 feet wide. You don't have to check it out. All right, guys, let's do this bad boy again. So we're digging these footings. Started over here. You got your laser level, got the tripod sitting back over there somewhere. So he's probably working with about a 24-inch bucket. Code would allow you to be 16 inches wide instead of 24 inches. But the wider your footing, the better, not the deeper. The wider, the better. You know, if I keep going wide with the footing, it makes it almost impossible for this house to settle. So, this area right here, guys, we're gonna go up the wall on this right here. We're gonna go up the wall on that. And I just checked the measurement. So this is about 24 inches, this whole thing. And guys, we're actually using the ground as the form. So I'm gonna go to my job site or to my shop and get my grounding probe just to make sure me and the inspector's doing the same thing here, because I'm sure he'll show up with a grounding probe. This is a good clean shot right here. Don't get no better than this right here. We just don't want it to rain. So there's chances of rain tomorrow. So, but now everything is good, guys. Everything is good until we get about right here. About right here, guys. We go down about 4 feet to undisturbed soil, a solid soil that you can build on. And that thing right there knows just about how much pressure to put on this right here to make sure we get solid soil. But we're kind of at the edge. This is the edge, so we got about 10 more feet right here. This is the edge, and then we're gonna go back this way. And hopefully we got something solid up there. And so, that's kind of how things are looking, guys. So you just wanna gotta get these footings in, guys. Get these footings in so we can get these walls in. We don't really have a whole lot of walls in this house, really, to be honest with you. This whole front side is gonna be 10 foot. That's a lot. Being that side over there, we're gonna step down. And I marked on the walls how we're gonna step down. That guy right there is gonna make sure that he's at the right depth. There you go. He's gonna make sure that he's consistent all the way around. So, I'll come back here, I'm gonna go run a couple of areas and come back here and we'll keep this bad boy going. All right, guys, just like a captain, guys, this is Emmett again, the Alpha Builder. Guys, just like a captain, I'm the first one on the ship, last one to leave. But guys, I don't know why these guys like to do this right here, man, but you know, I see, you know, we got to get some more rebar in here. Inspections at 9 o'clock. Pump truck, guys, by the way, we're doing footings. Inspections at 9 o'clock. Pump truck is at the pump truck is at 11. No, the pump truck gonna be here at 10:30. The concrete is gonna come at 11. But the big thing is the inspection, guys. Guys, typically, man, I don't know why I know why these guys like to do it, because they like to do everything in one day because of them paying labor. I like to get my inspections the day before. So I like for everything to be in place And then that way everything's good. That way we need to address some things, because I get inspections and stuff wrong. I know what to look for and I know what to do, but sometimes I may get things wrong, or some things I may not be zoomed in on at the time. But you know, I like to get all this stuff done, but these guys like to do everything on the day of. And you know, what if you fail an inspection? Well, you ain't got time to get it back right. Now you done got all these guys scheduled. Now I did mine. I ordered my inspection at 9 for the reason, and the reason I ordered the inspection at 9, so if you fail, if these guys don't have all this stuff done, then I can shift everybody else back. I can just call it before the concrete trucks pull up. Before they pull up, I can stop everything. So I came back out here, guys, just to make sure everything, you know, because I go over this stuff with the guys, but guys, on footing, corners and stuff, this is how you want those footing corners to be. You see how the rebar wraps around it? It's continuous. 2 feet interval. I can't get, geez, I need to get a cameraman now, guys. But it wraps around let me see, there we go. It wraps around it just like this right here, but it's continuous. And you have 2 feet overlaps. You got to have at least a 2 feet overlap on these things. And you know, you can kind of see, trying to get you guys, man, I got to get a camera, man. I got to figure this thing out. You see how we overlap right here? This is what you want to see. Now, there is, and my son, you know, he was telling me, you know, we was talking, and in the Birmingham, you see how those rebar chairs are sitting right there? They don't allow you to sit those rebar chairs directly on the ground, because they said that, you know, according to the code, you know, that groundwater can come up through there and start corroding that those metal rebar chairs, which could also, the metal rebar chairs is attached to they're attached to the rebar, so which eventually would corrode the rebar. That's kind of highly likely, guys. And you know, the concrete itself is alkaline, so the chances of corrosion is very slim. Now, I'm not saying that it can't happen, but now in the state of Alabama, I don't know if you guys know this right here, you don't need rebar in your footings. Reinforcement in the footings is not required here in the state of Alabama because of our seismic location. So you don't necessarily need rebar. So I can just do away with all the rebar altogether, and just, I think it's a good idea. And I would put it here. So I'm just kind of coming through here and just looking at, and these guys, well, they did it the way I thought it needs to be done. You know, I just kind of go through and check everything out. Just kind of check out what these guys are doing. You know, they did it down here too, man, but it's not as pretty. But now we get to this little area right here. You can see where the guys squared everything off. They got the lines and squared everything off. So now we stepping down, guys. But this right here is a whole lot of concrete we got to pour. This right here within itself, you guys see this right here? This is about 7 feet deep. If you guys can see that right there, it's about 7 feet deep down here. So this back corner of the house, this back corner eats up probably the whole truck. Then we got some up on the top up there that's gonna eat up a truck too. So so what I did was, guys, I did 2 things this morning just to make sure. Guys, you don't wanna have things jacked up. So I came with and I did this right here yesterday while he was doing it. This right here is a footings probe. And it has a little tip at the bottom of it right here. But this right here is made out of fiberglass. Now, if I take this thing right here and push it down, this thing shouldn't go, it should not go over 3 before it starts bending. It should not go over 3 inches in that dirt. If it goes 3 inches, you gotta keep digging. So we're good. I checked every last one of the points everywhere, all the way around this bad boy. And we're good, man. So this worked out really good. Now, what the inspectors are gonna do, because some municipalities don't want to spend the money to spend about $100 to buy one of those things, they're gonna get a rebar. They're gonna get a piece of rebar, and they're gonna try to push this through the ground, which actually this right here is not a good idea, I don't think, because, well, this tip right here is a little bit more dull, so it's gonna be harder to push this through the ground. But this whole rebar, this is not made out of fiberglass, man. So when you push this down, you actually, if you good and strong, man, you can probably drive it through the ground. You know, so this is just, it probably works very similar, but just, this is a better thing. This is made for that. And I also brought my spray paint because I got to go up to the top, and I got to put some I got to go to the top and show the guys where I want my because we got a main level garage, so I'm going to the top to make sure they put my we're gonna have some dowels that gonna go in and connect to the rebar and overlap that main level garage, and we're gonna do a cross section on that garage with rebar, like every 4 feet. And it looks good, man, but it really helps that rebar on the main level garage helps the concrete from cracking on the main level garage. So, you may have concrete to crack here in this area right here, which is normal, guys. Concrete is gonna crack. You can't stop it from cracking. So that's why I brought this right here. I brought my paint to kind of show those guys. You need me? We good? You gonna have it done? 9 o'clock. Oh, you good? Huh? Hold on. I had to talk to my guy real quick. Like, man, I tell you what, man, I get stressed out, guys. But we got this right here, and I have my little calculation right here, guys. So this is where I did my calculation originally for the footings, and then this right here, I had to come in and do another calculation because we went so deep in different areas. So I calculated that up. This right here gives me about almost double the amount of concrete that I thought I was gonna need. Huh? Huh? You need this? Ties. Okay. You ready? See how strong I am. There you go. Sheesh. All right. This is what we got, guys. Sheesh. So I'm not gonna. He said they'll probably have everything ready to pour around 12. So they want to push my guys back. I got them at 11, but he want to push it back to 12. So this is what I don't like. But let me just tell you how my luck works, guys. So I thought I was recording. The way my luck works, but the way my luck is, typically the concrete guys show up late anyway. Since I want him to show up late, he's probably gonna show up early. They probably gonna get here on time and everything. I'm gonna leave it alone, just like it is, and we'll just see. And guys, you might as well, like I said, guys, I say this right here in all my videos. Concrete, you might as well go ahead and plan on being here all day. Being here all day long, because there's gonna be a problem, man, that you're gonna have to, people can't think their way out of problems anymore. I'm starting to realize that more and more. They just can't, man. So I have to be here to help make decisions. And guys, that's why I was saying in my other video that, I come out here and I already kind of have a game plan on even how the pump truck is gonna sit and how they're gonna turn around and things like that. So you gotta look at your site and you gotta figure all that stuff out on the front end. Because if they come out here and say, well, we can't do this right here, guys. I promise you guys, if things are not textbook style and there's any amount of effort and thought have to put into trying to make things work, because everything's not gonna be perfect, those guys are not gonna do it. Especially those guys that's driving the truck. Driving those concrete trucks, man, I don't know where they get these guys from sometimes, man. I'm not saying all of them are like that, man, but man, them guys, man, they don't want to do it. They don't want to do anything that costs any thought. So, but it is what it is. I ain't gonna pound on them guys too much, guys. But But this is what you want, guys. You got to get out here, man. You got to look at this site. You just got to be here with them. Just got to make sure everybody's on the same page. We do have a front porch here, but the front porch, we're going to come back and pour the front porch a little later. The front porch has piers on it. It doesn't have, it has a beam to go all the way across, but it has piers. It don't necessarily need a footing on that thing. Well, we're gonna do a footing, but the front porch don't necessarily need to be poured right now. We can dial in on that front porch. All right, guys, I think I done talked enough. Like, share, subscribe, and remember, guys, this is the way. Have a good one. All right, guys, I got my, Mac, you got fired as my cameraman. I got Clay. I got your big brother Clay doing it. All right, guys, so we got this thing ready. You can see, just showing this right here. Got these footings ready now. We have to step up on this right here. So we'll have walls over there. We'll have walls, and then we'll probably stop about this high right here. And it's gonna be just right, guys. We got our pump truck. So this guy, he's gonna make sure this truck takes him about 15-20 minutes to set up. By that time, the concrete ought to be coming in here. I ordered 72 yards of concrete and a clean out, which means that we got 8 trucks coming, and then we need some more. We have a clean out. I think that's them. And that's the concrete guy, man. Perfect. All right. Good.